This here is my dad's 1969 Chevy SS Camaro. Featuring this beautiful black paint with white accents all the way around. This SS Camaro is completely original with the original engine block, gearbox and everything else. It's had its fair share of tasteful mods that are all period correct as well, but we'll get more into that. Now, a bit about this car. The 1969 SS Camaro. Its main competitors were Ford Mustangs, of course, the Pontiac, the Firebird, both which offered high performance versions. Also, Camaro had its fair share of factory options to keep up with all of them, and I think it did just that. Now, the Camaro back in its day was actually a race car, and that is so clear when you take a close look at this car. It features a long hood, short rear deck, and a wide stance, giving it that muscle car approach. It's also got that huge front grille with its front 4 headlights. Now the outside ones are clearly headlights, but the inside ones are not indicators. There were none. They're also headlights. Sitting on 14-inch wheels, these wheels do sound small, but they actually appear quite bigger than they are. That's because of how thick the sidewall is, and because of that deep dish chrome look, it makes it look even wider and bigger than they actually are. On the sides of the car, you get white pinstripes that go almost the entire length, sitting on top of Camaro and SS badging, which I think looks beautiful. As you can see, this one is a 396 one. That refers to the cubic inch size of the V8 under the hood. Now that V8 has had a shit ton of work, but we'll get more into that soon. Coming to the side and back, you can see how real wide this car is. This one does have the factory option ducktail spoiler, and then at the back is its 4 rear lights. The outside 2 being obviously brake lights, and the inside 2 are reverse lights. In the middle of that is the SS badge. Now under that SS badge is actually where you fill up the car. You turn that to the left, and under there, that's where the fill up hole is. Above that is a key to access the trunk, and below that is a beautiful chrome strip that can be found the entire way around the car, front and back. And below that is the iconic dual exhaust, which sounds absolutely amazing. This car has a full exhaust system, which we'll hear quite soon. Jumping into the interior of the Camaro, this one is completely original again, and was designed with a focus on sportiness and performance with a center console, which was really cutting edge for the time. No other cars usually came with center consoles. Sitting in the SS Camaro, you know straight away how tiny the front window is. It's so narrow and so small, but surprisingly, visibility in this car is absolutely amazing, except for the 2 huge blind spots in both rear corners. Down below, you also notice how huge the steering wheel is, way bigger than any steering wheel that is coming out in cars today. With the 3-spoke design and the horn and SS badge in the middle, I think it looks beautiful. And you have the clock, and then you have the gauge cluster on the right hand side, revs to 7,000 RPM, which this built V8 will easily do. Obviously this is in miles per hour because this is an American car, and it goes up to 120 miles an hour, which is 200 kilometers if you're living in Australia, for example. Down on the left hand sides, you have the wiper blades and lights. This also does of course have high beams, and then you have a vent for air conditioning. This might not have AC, but it still does blow air, hot and cold. The cold just being the natural air coming through the car, and still works. Then you have your radio, which also still works, and then below that you have your 4 gauges, being battery voltage, temperature of the engine, oil temperature, and then your fuel gauge. And from the side you have your 4-speed factory manual, which still goes amazing. And then again, if you want more airflow, you have this little thing in the footwell where you pull it towards you, and then it opens another vent for even more air. Now, getting to the thing we all care about, the engine. This one, like I said, has had extensive work. It is a 396 V8. This has been bored and stroked, now being 7.2 litres, pushing 550 horsepower and an ungodly amount of torque. Still carbureted too. There was a time when this was EFI, but through the troubles, it went back to carby. Has had a few mods to make it a bit more modern and drivable, like assisted brakes and power steering, but other than that, it's completely original and goes like hell. help with the stopping ability of all the added power, underneath the wheels is a bigger brake kit. It was hard because the wheels are so small, but now instead of being drum brakes on all four corners, they're disc brakes everywhere, slotted, vented, and they stop really good, especially for the weight of this car. Enough talking, let's start it up and go for a drive.